Yeah, so the with the 10 to 1 dilution is for four of the products, right? You have the audio
Okay.
neutralizing, the
Mm-hmm.
moisturizing shampoo, the
Okay.
whitening, and the conditioner. The other
Okay.
shampoos, you're gonna dilute 1 to 4, but you don't need to use as much. I feel like there is a people are very used to feeling the cleansing product when it has a lot of foam. If the
Okay.
hair is it's very dirty, and you're trying to apply the product in the hair that is very dirty, what's happening is all the cleaning agents of the product are binding to the dirt. So with
Okay.
that said, there's not much left to make foam. Foam
Okay.
comes from excess of cleaning agents. So you're gonna notice that if you can do the first wash with like using less product, right?
Okay.
The first wash and you don't get too concerned about the foam. When you're washing for the second time, you're gonna feel a lot of foam because then the hair is already clean.
Okay. Okay. It makes sense. It makes sense. Thank you very much.
No, no problem. You're very welcome. Is there any more questions about the shampoos that we talked about?
I have one question. I'm just curious. Is the Are the Hydra collection of shampoo only for small dogs, or large breed dogs too can use it?
Oh, it's every dog and cat can use it for dogs and cats. Yeah. Okay. All right. So if there's no more questions about the shampoo, I'm going to talk a little bit about the sprays and the launching of the Bliss that I think you guys are getting, and then we get to the haircut. Okay. So with the sprays, we have the volume and powder, which is a spray that is almost like a dry shampoo. So if you have a dog that has, sorry, if you have a dog that has the hair is greasy, for example, when when you wash the dog and there's still that greasy ear, or you already washed the dog and there is I don't know any spot on the dog that's greasy, this spray it has like a very thin powder. It has also tapioca starch on it. So when you apply it on the hair and you leave it for a few seconds and then you comb it, first you're gonna have an immediate big texture on the coat. So if you're doing a poodle, if you're trying to do a Shih Tzu like a puppy trim, if you're doing a Shih Tzu in a shorter haircut, you can apply the vitamin powder, and when you comb it, you're gonna have volume, so you can trim the hair. But also removes is a good degreaser, and some people even use for hand stripping because you apply the spray and it adds grip to the hair, so you can also pull the hair if you need to. So that's the volume and powder. It smells great too. For the girls, if you want to try it, if you like need to go out and you need something just to like make your roots look clean, this is also amazing. Okay. Then we have the thermal active spray, which I think is what you guys can use the most, having Shih Tzus. This is a very good finishing tool for every dog, every haircut. In short coated dogs, this is basically argan oil and keratin. So when you apply it, you can use like if you like have a short hair dog, you apply it, it's gonna be like very shiny, very pretty. If you do here in my shop, I use in every haircut. Once we're done, you use the clipper, and then right before the dog goes out, I apply some of this spray, which is magical, and everybody's like, "Wow, it looks so shiny, it smells so good, it's so soft." And this spray also protects from the heat. So when we do today with Bailey, when we use the flat iron and we're gonna have heat, this spray will protect the hair from the heat as well. So you can apply before I'm using the flat iron, or I can apply before using crimper, and this would help the coat from getting burned. Because when you're like using the heat directly in the coat, sometimes what can happen is the hair can get a little yellow. So this will prevent that. And then we have the grooming style, which is a hairspray. So the grooming style, it's a hairspray for dogs, but it's not super strong hold. It's more like to shape the hair than if you need something that is like a glue, right? It's not like rock hard hairspray. This is more like to shape the style for the hair is still gonna move. It's not gonna be like static, okay? And the good part about this product, though, is that it has deep pentanol on it, and deep pentanol prevents the hair from breakage. So a lot of times hairspray breaks the hair a lot. the deep pentanol is going to make it harder to the hair to break. Because deep pentanol is very used for like scars and healing and binding. Okay. So and then there is the senses bliss, right? Which I think you guys watched the live. We have the new collection that is coming up, and this deep conditioning is different than the one that I showed you guys before because this one comes with this booster. If you guys want to watch the live that is on the Hydro USA page and the Hydro International, you're gonna find that these guys, when you mix together, it changes the texture. So you're creating a deep conditioning on the spot for the dog. It has lipoprotein, it has a sweet almond oil, it has aloe vera and coconut water, and then you can mix them together, and you're creating a deep conditioning fresh on the spot for the dog. It's like something very unique, very exclusive, smells great, and it feels amazing, and you feel like a big difference on the hair right after using it. Okay? All right. Oh, and the Senses also comes with the moisturizing serum, which is a product that you can sell to the customer so they can keep up with the treatment at home. So after you do the whole spa treatment, you can send them home with this, which is a serum, almost like the demating spray that we have. Smells great. And then they can keep up with their pets at home as well. Okay, about the sprays. Is there any question or no? Sprays, questions? No? Should I move on? Okay, moving on. Here we also have the grooming powder, which is a product to remove the hair from the ear or to hand strip or anything that you need grip for. The coolest part about the grooming powder is not too much of a rock like most of the powders, and it also smells good. It doesn't smell like ear. Because sometimes I feel like the powders that you use for ear has that mint smell, and for me it always smells like dog ear. Yeah, this one smells good. And we have the toothbrush or the toothpaste from Hydro as well that you can use to brush your teeth, and I think that's it for now. And we have the colognes, but we can talk about that later. Let's get to the haircut. Okay, so this is Bailey. Let me see if I can get the camera here in a better spot for you guys to see. Hope you guys can see her really well. Okay, so first and foremost, when I'm doing a dog with this long of a coat, I like to lift the hair so I can trim the paws. See, she has like very, very long paws. I'm gonna use a thinning shear. If you're doing a show dog and you don't wanna like mess up with the side of the hair, what you can do is you can tie all this hair up, very up. You can tie all this hair up like this, so you don't cut the wrong hair, okay? With Bailey, she is good, so I'm just gonna separate the paw. And then right around the paw, I'm gonna like sit her straight. She's lazy, she wants to like sleep. Sit her straight and see where the paws are pointing, okay? What I'm trying to see if the paws are pointing forward, if they're pointing to the side, or if they're pointing inwards. And what I wanna do when I'm trimming is I wanna trim the hair straight on the front, always. And then after trimming the hair straight, I'm gonna like round the hair on the sides to make sure that when the dog is moving, I don't show the dog moving like this or like that, okay? So I put the paw straight like this, and I make a straight line on the front of the paw. Of course, first I trim the nails, and then I'm gonna make a straight line in front of the paw. Bailey. Down. First, I create a straight line, just so you can see where the paws are pointing. Because see, when the paw gets on the floor, you can see her lifting from under. For example, Bailey here, she has the paw going a little bit out. So I'm gonna trim it in a way that I can't can't really tell that her paws point outside. Down. Cut a little bit, put it on the floor. This is very important for show, so you can actually correct the dog. Just like that. Just like that. Then put it on the floor. Never go too confident. Never like trim everything at once and then put it on the floor because you might be disappointed, right? You want to make sure that when you put the dog on the floor, he looks straight. Like just like that. Just like that. Then see, the hair that comes from the top will cover my paw, but when the dog moves, I want to make sure the paw looks right, okay? Because the dog's gonna move like this, like he's gonna reach forward. So when he's reaching forward, I want to make sure the paw looks straight, not to the side or to the other side. So that's why I'm separating the hair, making sure I can trim. Especially if the dog is walking towards you from the judge, you can really see the difference that the grooming does when the dog is moving. So, with the paws, I can use this small clipper if you guys want and want to have at home. That it's easier to get under and clean up her paw pads. Of course, I naturally do this before I start trimming the paw, which hers is already short, so. Okay, so just like that, I have a clean paw and round it around it. Then now, after I trim the front of the paw, I want to put her to the side, comb the hair down all the way to the floor, and using the table as her measurement, I'm gonna slide the scissors in the table and cut the hair like this. Go ahead. Okay, I'm separating all the hair off. Can you guys see it well? Like only the paws being trimmed. Like that. Okay. Okay. Okay, there's a good paw, and then there's my hair covering it. But when my dog moves, the paw is gonna show nice and round. Okay, so one of them is done. Look, look, look. Not barely. Stay up. Comb a little bit. So when I'm trimming the bottom part, this part of the paw, I don't like using the straight scissors because it can leave marks. So I'm gonna use a thin inch here and trim the bottom of the paw, just like that. Like this. Like that. Okay. Any questions about the front paw? Can I move to the back one? Okay, then let's move to the back paw. Is there any question? No? Why what? 10 inch shears? Because because the hair is straight like this, um, a lot of times, including in the paw, when you trim round it, when the dog lifts the paw like this, or they're moving, and the hair, okay, you trim the hair that was in this position, right? When the dog is moving, the hair comes in this position, it might show marks on the hair. So I want to make sure I use a thinning shear in the back, so when the dog moves, this transition looks natural. Make sense? So I use the straight shears in the front because it's not going to change much from this to that. See, look, the dog is going to move, right? So the dog walking is going to put the paw forward. I can use the straight scissors right here because it's going to look sharp, and when the dog moves, it's still going to look sharp. But if I use it on the back, and the dog is like this way. So then a lot of times this part becomes marked. So I use the thinning shears on the back, so when the dog moves, this area looks natural. Make sense?
Yeah, hello, Gabriel.
Yes.
A quick one, a question. With the hair beneath the paw, when you are using the clipper, do you actually take everything? Because I know the hair grows from in between the paws. Do you take
Yes.
everything off, or you just cut
Yes.
it
Yes. Usually,
from the?
yes. I take everything between the paw. Just
Okay.
to prevent matting, especially if it's not your dog. If it's your dog and the hair is not matted inside and the dog stays inside of the house and is very clean, you don't have to like dig in between the toes. But if it's not your dog and you want to keep it cleaner, yes, you can dig and take everything under the paw. Right.
All
Let me
right.
see if I can show
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah. Look. See, with her, because she's very clean, I can just like skim the top if I want to. But if she's not my dog, I will like really get into the paw and remove all the hair. This is a 40 blade, by the way. I use a 40 to do the paws as well.
Gabriel, a quick one again.
Hmm?
Doesn't the 40 blade cut the skin?
No, it's all about how you handle it. It's
Uh,
not, as long as you're not using strength on it, it doesn't hurt at all. Look, I can use my arm. Even using like this, touching the blade on my arm, it doesn't cut. It's all about how you use it. If you're forcing it too much, then you might. You also need to make sure the blade is sharp, that it's not rusty, that it's not hot. But other than that, it's perfectly safe. Now, if you shave a big area of the dog with a 40 blade, you might find allergies. You know how when you shave beard or shave your leg or you use a razor and you have the itchiness afterwards?
yeah.
That can happen if you shave a big area of the dog with a 40 blade. But for the paws, it's perfectly safe.
Okay. Thank you.
Including for poodles, it's a very common, like when you do poodles for show, the idea is that the judge needs to see the color of the skin, right? So the 40 is also used against the grain, so that means the dog's going back completely bald. But the dogs can also learn how to adapt their allergic reaction to it. So poodles, usually when you start doing them young, sometimes they can have a little bit of allergy to the 40, but after a while, they get used to it. Um, but for a Shih Tzu, I would only recommend using on the paw and on the butt if you want, but that's it.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thanks.
Okay, Gabriel, I I wanted to find out where can we get a complete grooming kit and the brands that you will recommend.
Oh, the complete grooming kits. For the brands, well, different brands are going to work differently. For example, Andes, if you're using Andes, for example, you're going to have to reach out to a distributor in your continent or in your country. Utsumi, which is my shears that I use, we can ship it to you. And this, I can even sell it for you. Um, and that's what I basically use. I basically use Andes, Utsumi, and Hydra mainly. This clipper also, it's not Andes, this clipper is Wall. And actually, I like this one that is wall better than the Andes one because it's very light and it almost makes no noise. See, look, The noise is very low. Because think for the perspective of the dog, right? If you get like a noisy thing, even like being a person, if you get a noisy clipper and you put it right behind your ear, the noise is very loud. So for the dog that has a more sensitive hearing, it's very easy for them to be scared of the clipper. So what I like to do when they're very young, especially if you guys are breeders, it's a very good technique for desensitizing them. As soon as their ears are opening or they're like walking around, grab something that vibrates. It can be a clipper, it can be a toothbrush, electric toothbrush. You know those toothbrushes that are electric. You can turn it on and massage the body of the dog with the clipper. Massage their head, massage their ears, because they need to get used to the sound and the feeling of something vibrating on their body. So when you actually get to do cheek cleaning, nails, clipping, or if you're doing a haircut, when they're older, they're not gonna be scared of the noise. But anyways, I like this one because the noise is very low. My scissors, I got a little spoiled. I use only Utsumi. They are the highest quality shoes that I ever tried. And yeah, and my products are everything here in the shop is Hydra. Literally, if I turn my don't look, mind the mess, but if I turn around, see it's all Hydra. Okay, so that's it. So yeah, the Utsumi, if you need, Emmanuel, I can help you send it. If you need brushes, these are Chris Christensen brushes. You can buy it on Cherrybrook. I think they ship outside of the country as well. The spin brushes are good. I feel like Hydra, like correct me if I'm wrong, Thais, but we might be coming up with a brush. Yes, no? Thais? 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 Oh, maybe Thais is not. No. Okay, so I'm gonna trim straight. Like that. A little bit more. Like that. Just like that. Okay, so then when you see the dog forward, like if you're presenting it to a judge, you wanna make sure the feet look straight. Just like that. Then trim here on the sides. Then remember the back of the paw, I'm gonna use my thinning shears.
Please, it seems you are a bit away from the camera.
Oh, you can see it?
Yeah, good. It seems now it's now better. Good. Fine. Thank you.
Like that?
Yes, please. Yes,
You wanna
please.
see if it's closer? Let's see if I can get it closer.
Yes, I can see it now. Thank you very much.
Oh, no problem. I wanna make sure you guys can see everything. Okay, Bailey, come on. Bailey doesn't wanna stay up. So everybody here has Shih Tzus?
Majority of us have Shih Tzus.
Nice. I used to have Shih Tzus before. I bred them before. What is the other breed that you guys have? Who else here has another dog that is not a Shih Tzu? There's a different breed. Are you guys showing other breeds too, or just Shih Tzus?
Yeah, you find poodles, Maltese too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I love poodles too. I have 3 poodles. Right now, I'm in a phase that I like to have dogs that I cut the hair, not that I grow the hair. Because before, Shih Tzu is all about growing the hair.
We have the American Cocker Spaniel too.
Oh, you have American Cocker Spaniel?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so much work. That is so much work. Okay, so there we go. I have my paw. See how like when I lift it, there's no much marks in the back. So when the dog is moving, it looks like a seamless transition from the paw and the hair flowing on the side. Now, if your dog has bad elbows, okay, the dog elbows go out. You can use a thin comb like this, lift the hair. She doesn't have that. And you can remove this undercoat, this little fuzz that grows in the hair, under the elbow. So use that as a way to correct the dog, right? So if your Shih Tzu has elbows like this, and when they move, you can see the hair hopping here, right? Because that's how you notice. When you have wait, let me lift this again. Okay, when you have a Shih Tzu that's moving, and the dog has bad elbows, and he's moving like this, you can see the hair bouncing here because it's too much hair and the elbows pushing the hair out. And that's how the American judges see when the dog has a bad front, when they're moving, because with the trimming, when you're fixing here, it's gonna look right when the dog does this. But if the dog has bad elbows, it's gonna make the hair jump. So you can lift the hair on the side, like I was showing. You can lift the hair here on the side, grab the thin comb, and just, if this one is not working well, you can use a metal one. Like these ones, okay? If the plastic one is not working well, you can use a metal one. I would avoid using rakes, okay? Some people have a rake. Let me see if there's one here. You guys know what a rake is? You got one. So some people, when the dog have a lot of hair, they would remove some of the undercoat with this. But I strongly don't recommend because you're gonna cut the undercoat of the dog, and then when it's growing, it's not gonna look good. Also, don't use this, which is a mat cutter, okay? If you have a Shih Tzu with long hair, this is gonna ruin the hair. You don't want anything that cuts being used on the main coat. Not for me, okay? When I had losses before, I've used, because Los Options have a lot of undercoat, I've used this on the top coat before, and it looks great for the show, for the day of the show. But then if a few months go by and the undercoat starts growing under the hair and it becomes a nightmare. First, it mats very easily, and second, doesn't look good. So don't use anything that cuts on the top of the coat, okay? Got it? See all these like cutting tools, that's not used anywhere near the top of the hair. Okay, so now let's do the back leg. Same thing. Separate the hair. Which Bailey has her back is correct. And then I'm gonna leave the back alone right for now. I'm gonna just trim the front, okay? On the floor. On the floor. Comb it. On the floor. Sometimes, if the dog has a very good rear, I like to leave the back of the hog a little longer. So when the dog is stacking and I'm doing this, right? If I have a little bit, if the dog doesn't have all this hair on the back part, some dogs don't have all this, right? Because it breaks with the urine and the poop. If the dog doesn't have this much hair, I like to leave a little bit of hair right here in the end of the hocks, so it looks like the rear is more angulated, okay? But in her case, because she has all this coat, we can remove it. Also, when looking from the back, like this, when the dog moves, you want to make sure that the judge can see the paw pads. Just like that. Okay, so now let's do the last paw, which is this one. Oops, there's a little mat here. Okay, there we go. This paw here, the hair's a little broken. I think the mom might have cut that hair before me. So now I'm just gonna round this feet because there's no much hair on the back. These shears are super sharp. Just like that. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna turn on my flat iron so we can put our hair together. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go get the flat iron. Okay, so this is a human flat iron. Okay, let's just get this on. It's so sad that we have to do everything on the meet on Google Meets. I wish I could go there with you guys and show you guys this in person. Okay. So now with the flat iron, I'm gonna put, the important is you want a flat iron that has a thermostat. I'm gonna put the thermostat on. Okay, you wanna use one that has a thermostat? I'm gonna put my thermostat on 390 Fahrenheit, which on Celsius, I don't know. I'm so used to use the Fahrenheit here. Can somebody look up for me how much is 390 Fahrenheit on Celsius? Does anybody know? 390 Fahrenheit on Celsius. You guys use Celsius, right? In Africa? Or it's Fahrenheit?
Celsius.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here it's everything Fahrenheit, and I learned how to use it here, so I don't remember how much it is in Celsius. So it's 390. How much? 201, yeah. You can do that. You can go up to like 215 degrees, but you don't want to go more than that. Now, when using a flat iron, the thing is you cannot go too slow or too fast. If you go too slow, there's a chance that the hair is going to become yellow. And if you go too fast, you're not going to get the effect. So, make sure it's already warm. Yes. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the, where is my, here? The thermal active spray. I'm going to go down, grab from layers, which start from the bottom layer of the dog. So what I'm doing is I'm lifting the top coat up. And then I'm gonna use the brush in my left hand, the flat iron in my right hand, and then straighten it out. And just grab it. Strain. There we go. What? This is the Thermal Active Oil Finishing Spray. It protects from, it's thermal protective, so it protects from the heat. Okay? Sorry, I thought I showed it.
The yeast again. Can you come again with the yeast? Why you sprayed
What?
on your dog?
What did you say? He protects the coat from the heat, yeah, because the flat iron is hot, so the thermal active is gonna protect the hair from the hair from the heat of the flat iron, so it doesn't get yellow or burn. And because with dogs, right, when you're using the flat iron, if you're using too much, the hair can become yellow because of the heat. So the thermal protective is gonna prevent that. You just can't use it too slow. It needs to be enough to straighten the coat, but not too slow. So kind of like this, look. Then you can use it a few times in the same place. There we go. Look at that. I wish you guys were here up close because it's so shiny. And it's gonna remove all the frizz from the dog. You don't need to use the flat. You don't need to use the flat iron when using the spray. You can just use the spray. But if you're gonna use the flat iron, it's a good addition. So the spray can help you protect the dog's coat. Do you guys use the flat iron there when you're showing? I mean, with Malteses, whoever said it has Malteses, flat iron helps a lot because a lot of Malteses, they don't have really this super drop coat. In Shih Tzu too, the flat iron will help a lot when your dog is walking. It makes a big difference. There we go. And if your dog has a lot of volume in the coat too, if it's too big, this makes a big difference. Oh my God.
Hello, Gabriel.
Yes.
Can you use the hand dryer to get the same effect as the iron?
You said you use the Hydra for what?
The hand dryer, the blower. You get the same effect as using
Using what?
the flat iron. Instead of the flat iron, can you use the hand
Yeah,
dryer?
yes. I can't hear you.
Yeah,
You can hear me.
Gabriel, he's asking if he chooses to use a hand dryer, will he get the same effect as with the hand iron, the iron you are using?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. It's different. It's different. Yeah. The hand dryer, I used the hand dryer when I dried her, but with the hand dryer, you're doing this, right? You're brushing. A lot of times, because of the dry air and the brush, when the air is blowing, there is a static in the air. So you're not gonna have
Gabriel,
it's not gonna
please
be tight. It's gonna be open in between. The flat iron is to tighten the hair.
Gabriel,
Mm.
please, what about
Yes.
the blower also?
The what?
The blower, the hair blower.
The hair dryer.
No, the air blower.
Oh yeah, I use a hair blower too. Yes, I do. With the hair blower though, you don't want to use the hose, right? You don't want to use it too close because if you use the hose close, the hair gets matted. If you want to use the blower, it has to be from a distance. You need to use like from far away from the dog so the hair doesn't tangle.
Oh, okay. I get you. I get you.
You get it? Hair blower you guys are talking is like a hair blower is like a hose like this, right? You don't want to use too close because it mats the hair. You need to use it like this, far away from it.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yes, please.
Like that. And then you do the other side. And also, if your dog has any, for example, see how the hair here is a little wavy, that it didn't dry correctly? You will fix with the Also, if it happens that one day you use too much of the thermoactive spray, and you're like, oh my God, I used too much and it became an oil, right? Don't worry, if you brush it a little bit, it dissipates in a few minutes. So don't have to wash your dog again. If you happen like if you're running, if you have to get to the ring or you're showing your dog and you think you use too much of the spray, just wait a little bit and keep brushing because the spray will dissipate. It's not going to stay oily, which is an advantage of that spray. It's an oil that doesn't leave the hair greasy. Um, like that, okay? Look how beautiful she looks. Now we can actually trim her. You just do her tail real quick. Let me trim the booty. So here, I'm gonna use the clipper just around her butt. Like that. So some dogs, for sure, when you stack your dog, you're gonna do it like this, right? Like that. She is not a show dog, so she doesn't like to do it. And then you put the tail up, right? That's how you do it. If you want, if your dog has a good tail set, so if the tail is in a good place here, what you can do is you can trim the sides of the tail. So see this hair that is in the back, that we put up mixed with the back of the coat. You can shave a ring around the tail. Literally, you can grab this clipper and you can shave just the base of the tail. So when the dog put the tail up, the tail is separated from the body. Okay? A lot of people do that here too. when I cannot do it with her because her mom likes the hair that I asked her earlier. But what you could do is put the tail up, and then you could shave the hair around here. Just like the size of my finger around the tail, you could shave it. And then the tail will look like that. Up. Okay?
Gabriel,
So now, let's do, yes, there's a,
yeah, do you do that leaving this like showing the skin around the tail?
oh no, I would use like a 10 blade, and I would use for like a few days before the show, like a week before,
Okay, all right,
because it grows hair enough to not show the skin.
okay, all right, thank you.
So let me get some water. Okay, so now I need to make sure I separate the hair on the back very well. So I'm just making a line from the tip of the nose all the way to the tail. How many dogs do you guys have in a dog show in Ghana? In a big dog show, in your biggest dog show, how many dogs do you guys have?
In a typical dog show, on a good day, we can have up to like, if I'm not exaggerating, we can have up to like 100 dogs, 50 to 100 dogs in a show
Oh, 200
on a good
dogs.
day.
Yeah, in Brazil it's about the same too. In
Come
Brazil,
again.
how much dogs you have in the show?
Come again. I didn't hear you. Did you say,
I do
did you
not
ask
hear
another
you.
question? Did you ask another question?
No,
Maxim, did you ask another?
no. I just said that in Brazil it's like that too. In Brazil, it's about 200 dogs in a good day. It's about 200 dogs per show. Here in the United States, a small show has around 600, and big shows have like 3,000 dogs, 2,000 dogs. It's a lot of dogs. All right, so now I want to show you guys how we do this side. So now after trimming the paw, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put her straight here. And that's why I did a flat iron before. Let me see if I can lower the camera a little more. Yeah. So I put the hair down. See how I put her in the edge of the table so the hair is falling down from the table? Then, with this hair, where's my scissors? This is the demating spray. I'm gonna use a little bit just to make sure the hair is slightly wet so it doesn't move when I'm cutting. Then I'm gonna trim the hair under the table, see? So I still have coat passing the length of the floor. You never want to cut the hair here, okay, on the top, because when the dog moves, this area here goes up, and then it's gonna look like it's missing here. So I always only trim it when it's passing the length of the floor. Put down on the table like this. Comb it again. Like that. Okay, and this is good. It's always good also to trim the hair because it helps the hair grow more and healthier. Then I'm gonna comb the front. Bailey, Up. No, baby, stay up. Belly. Up. Comb it. And then I'm gonna do, here I wanna do a little tighter. I use the table and I make a straight line in front. Just like that. Comb it. Just like that. Okay, now I'm gonna do the other side. Yes. Sounds what? This grooming? Um, you mean on my routine or if I have a dog? Oh, with the grooming, you would only do a bath and brush out every 5 days. If you want to have a very good care, I would do every 5 days or every week. Now, what I'm doing right now, you only do like once a month. This like use the flat ironing, then combing and trimming. I'm also trying to do more things here to show you guys different ways that you can do it. Before trimming the hair, I find it is important to use the flat iron so I have the hair straight. See, if I had only give her a bath and only use the dryer, the hair wouldn't be as straight as it is right now. And so then when I trim it, and then in the next bath, it will look different. When I'm cutting the hair, I like to use the flat iron before. But if you own a dog and you're only keeping up with your dog, you can only give them a bath and brush out and do the paw pads every week, once a week. What? Is cut what? I cannot hear you. Oh, you can just give it a bath and a brush and the paw pads. The paw pads. Paw, yeah. That you need to do every week. That's when I had long hair dogs, that's what I would do. Because if you don't do it very often, depending on the dog, you can't really grow this type of hair. Because the hair will break. Because by brushing, you are stimulating the blood flow on the skin, and that makes the hair grow more. So the more you brush and bathe them, the better it gets. And then also think about the stains, right? If your dog has urine stains, if you're washing every week, you won't have the stains anymore. Because then your dog's gonna be very white. See, she pees on her own hair, but it's still white because her mom washes her every week. With Hydra, of course. Now I'm going to the back. Here. Same thing in the back. Forward. I put the feet around the edge of the table. I put the hair falling down from the table. But instead of cutting under the table, I'm gonna cut about right in the edge of the table here. With the sides, I cut above the table, so when the hair it's on the floor, it still touches the floor. If I come here on the side, and I cut the hair here, when she's actually on the floor, the hair is not gonna touch the floor. And the standard, the breed standard, asks the hair to be touching the floor. Yeah. But you can, but if you want, like, for example, you're not gonna show for a while, right? You're like, there's no dog shows for the next 4 or 5 months. When you trim it to make her cleaner, when you trim it to make it cleaner, you can go like above, so there's no much hair touching the floor for you, but then there's time enough to grow before you go to the show. Okay, because like on the show, the ideal is the hair is still touching the floor. She has so much hair, I cut like an inch of her hair and she still has hair. Where did you guys got your Shih Tzus from? Are you guys imported from the United States?
Most of our Shih Tzus normally come from Europe.
Oh, Europe.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, in Brazil, most of the Shih Tzus there are American lines.
Yes. But our good friend Kwapson, he's bringing some from America very soon. So we are looking forward to it happen for him.
Oh, America's very strict. Yeah, I can see how some breeders here might be a little strict. Okay, so after trimming, it's not the body. With her face, I usually do. She doesn't have a long face. I usually give her a Asian fusion trim right around her muzzle. So it's gonna be a little bit different, and I can show you guys how I do it. Okay. First, with this little clipper that I already showed you guys before, I'm gonna shave her lips, okay? So, including for shows, you guys do the same thing. Let me see if we can get it closer. Here, I'm going to shave right this area. And see, that's why it's important for you guys to massage them and like make them learn about the vibration of the clipper. And then I also do with the 40 blade. See, look, the lips are shaved. And when I shave the lips, I do the same width of the nose all the way down to her chin, okay? And trim the top of the nose like that. Now, I'm gonna trim her muzzle. Okay, so if you're doing for show, that's what you do. You shave it like that. Just like that. Now, if your dog has a problem of pigmentation, you don't shave. Okay, leave it alone. Is there a question? No? So now I'm gonna do a Asian trim on her face, which I'm gonna trim her her chin. So all the way this area down here, I'm gonna trim very short. I can even use a clipper. In fact, I can use a clipper number 4. This is a Andes clipper with the number 4 blade. I'm gonna trim her chin. This, for pet owners, when you're doing it at home, helps keep the dog's face cleaner.
Hello, Gabriel.
Yes.
Please, you zoom in a little so that we see how you're grooming it.
What did you say?
The face, what you're doing right, and the camera get a bit closer so that we can see exactly what you're doing. Yeah,
Like that?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, after shaving, so I shaved this area, okay? Like I shaved this area all the way down to her neck. Like that. Now, I'm going to use my curved scissors to clean up around her eyes.
Still can't see.
You cannot see?
No.
Yes, yes.
Can you see now?
Yeah, I can. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, now what I'm gonna do, I already trimmed the bottom part of the chin, which is this part. You guys tell me if you're seeing it because I'm not, because the camera is so close that I cannot see what the camera is showing. So,
Yeah, but move the dog to your right hand side a bit so that that's good.
okay, so now I'm gonna blend this area with this, okay? And my limit is gonna be the corner of the eye right here. So, look, the scissor coming to the corner of the eye. Like that. And this line is one continuous thing, okay? So initially, I shave this with the clipper, and then I use this length, this line, to tie with the side of the head, okay? Just like that. Now, let's do the other side. Here, you're gonna have to do different because I want you guys to see it. So instead of using my shears like this, although I think I can use it like this.
Please, I think you still have to move to the right small again.
What?
You're right, as my brother said. You move to the right small again because you can't see the head.
Like this?
No, with the dog, you move the dog good. I think it's now okay. If it could be like this. Excellent. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Please, it will be better if you center her. It's not better.
What?
No, it's good now, Gabriel. It's good.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is like a really cute fusion face for her. Keeps her from getting her mouth messy.
Gabriel, what's the name of these scissors? This particular kind of scissors?
This style?
No, the scissors you are using to cut.
Oh, I'm using the mini super curves from Utsumi. I have them all for sale on my website. If you guys want to check it out, it's on my Instagram too. If you go to my Instagram page for the shop, they're there. If you want to see it.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Good to know. Okay.
They're very good, yeah. Okay. No, not for the dog shows. No, dog shows they need to have full beard. This is a pattern. Okay. Unless your standard says something different, but dog shows, Shih Tzus have to have the beard long. Needs to be cut long. Now I'm just gonna polish a little bit with a thinning shear. I'm keeping her lashes, okay, long, because I think she has beautiful lashes. So I'm keeping this long. Okay, twist it like that. Like that. Cute. Yeah. Like that. So what this scissor does is it will remove any marks that is left in the hair. So it's gonna look like very smooth and round. See, this is a very cute style that if you guys are not showing anymore, you can trim your dog like this. So they have, it doesn't get dirty with the food. If you want even, you can also clear the lips a little more with your scissor. When you're doing, make sure you put your finger here so the dog doesn't put the tongue out. And then trim it, okay? This part, you have to do it with a thinning shear. You cannot do it with a straight shear because you will mark and it's not gonna look good. No, the straight shears will get you a shortcut, but when you're doing straight, when you have a straight hair, that you're trying to create an oval shape like this case, and the hair is straight, by using the straight shears, because the hair is straight, when the hair moves, it'll show marks. So the ideal for having a smooth coat like this, like see how this finishing look very round, is to use in the end the thinning shear to polish that area. Now let me show you guys a few top knots that we can do for her. This one I'm gonna leave because she doesn't have much hair coming from here. Although I can show you guys how I do it too. Wait 1 second. The problem when you're a groomer, you keep looking at it and you want to keep like moving the. Okay, it's okay. There we go. So now I like to use this comb. I also usually spray. This is the dematting spray. I spray that on my comb, so it glides through the hair better. Look, like that. Then, what I'm gonna do first, because this hair on her is shorter, I'm gonna make a line from not the corner, but like a little bit above the middle of the eye, here, a semicircle all the way to the other side. See, look, my comb coming out of here. When you lift the hair, make sure that on the back of the head, it also looks good, okay? Don't think only about the front. Make sure that the back also looks very well separated. One more spray. Just give me 1 second, I'm gonna get her a pillow. Okay, you can use a towel like this, so they can put their head at, like that. So it's easier for you and for them.
Gabriel, kindly move to your right hand side. Move the dog to your right hand side. Good.
Now, when I'm putting the rubber bands, with these rubber bands, I'm gonna do three loops. This is a latex rubber band. I'm always gonna like first see how it's gonna look before I actually tie it. So I feel like on this side has a little bit less hair. So I either have to take a little bit off from this side, which I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Then again. A little bit more hair here. Um, well, you can use it for the day of the show. I wouldn't use it on like the daily for like your clients or at home because whatever gel you put on tends to make the hair stiff. So if the hair doesn't bend and doesn't have elasticity, it will break. So I rather use on the daily something very like conditioning than a gel. The gel is only for the day of the show. But instead of the gel, you can also use a hairspray. You can just like spray a little bit in your finger and then put on the hair. You don't really need like a gel, but it's up to you. It's about choices, really. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get one hair from the middle of the top knot like this. See, this little hair. Shh, 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 shh. Bailey. I grab one, Bailey. I grab one hair here, and then I'm gonna pull this down, look. Just like that. Again. So now, I wanna do like a little bit of a braiding in her coat. I'm not doing this is not I'm showing you guys this front part, but I'm not gonna do the whole, show Shih Tzu top knot because it's too much hairspray, and now that she has this new face, she's gonna look cuter in another hair braid. What do you think? This one I can use. I have that one. I have. Oh, I think it's on this one. Yeah, I'm gonna use this one. So before I put this on, what you can do is see this hemostat. Pass the hemostat in front of the hair like this. Okay. Grab the tip of the hair with the hemostat like that, and then you can pull backwards. See? And she has a little tiara.
Gabriel, kindly redo that for us to see again.
Yeah, sure. So. So first putting your rubber band, and remember the rubber band cannot be pulling the skin. If you have a rubber band that is pulling the skin, what's gonna happen is over time it's gonna create a trauma and the hair is gonna fall out. So when you put the rubber band, you need to make sure that this is loose. See how it's not pulling her skin? Then with my hemostat, I'm gonna go from the back to the front, see? Then I'm gonna grab the tip of the hair with my hemostat, like that. Look, grabbed it. And now I'm just gonna pull my hemostat backwards. Pulling the hair, see? Look. Now I can just pull this hair and turn. Like that, okay? See how she has I'm gonna do it again on the back. Let me just put a bow. And put a bow back here. Then I'm gonna do one more. So now I'm gonna grab another patch of hair in the back of her head. Like that. And then in the patch of hair that I have in the back, I'm getting that hair too. See, like it's all together. That. Then I'm gonna put my hemostat again from the back forward. Then I'm gonna grab the hair here and then pull back. Just like that. Then I can put on the bro. Now there's one more thing that I want to show you guys how to do. That is using the curling iron. Let me get the curling iron. So this is a curling iron. I'm gonna turn it on. Okay. All right, I'm gonna put 400 degrees more or less, not Fahrenheit, which is about, I think like 220 degrees Celsius. Now I'm gonna wait till it gets warm. Do you guys, while the flat iron gets warmer, the curling iron, do you guys have any questions? Let me do this. Anything you guys want to ask so far about the products, about the haircut, about? Mhm. Oh, this and the demating? This and this too? No, I said spritz the demating on the comb. That's what I meant. Spritz the, this is spray. Yeah. Yeah. With the slicker brush. I don't use any raking on the coat. When you have a mat, you put the demating spray, and then you use a slicker brush, and then you just check with the comb. You never cut the mat. Like if you brush it long enough, you're gonna end up demating. You just need to have patience. Because if you don't have the patience with the brush and you use the rake, then you're cutting the hair. You're not demating, you're cutting. Like here in shows, or if you work with any show dogs in the US, if you use that dematter with any handler, they'll kill you. Yeah. Like that. I'm gonna do it again because now it looks better. There we go.
Gabriel,
What? The undercoat and the top coat, yeah. The flat iron you can use for both. So now, look, I want to show you guys how to curl the hair, okay? So you're gonna pull this like a hair chain like this. You're gonna get the grooming style, which is a hairspray. Put the hairspray on the hair. You grab the curling iron. One second. it there. It's not sticking. What's happening? I'm like that the thing is not sticking. It's not sticking to the hair for some reason. I think your hair, I think I need to grab, I'm gonna grab a little more here. Here, there we go. Then you use the curling iron like this. I think this problem is my curling iron actually. Okay, there we go. Then you wait for a few minutes and a few seconds, and then you let go. I like it better when this curling iron is smaller because this one, it's from the TV show and it wasn't as small as the one that I had, but my other one stayed on the show. There we go, see? Look at that. You can make those curls if you want. And it goes very well with the Asian fusion style. Put some more hairspray. Just like that, okay? And then that you can just get creative and you can do in all the ways. If you want to like tie the hair, you can. You can do it in the entire head, you can do it on both sides. It's all about really creativity. Now that we're almost getting to the end of our class, I want to ask you, I want to open the room for conversation and for questions. Do you guys have any questions? Anyone? Oh, also, I don't know if you guys know how to braid hair. This, if you want, you can separate it in 3 parts, and then you can just braid it. Inwards, inwards. Look at that. Okay. Now, let me get this. Okay. All right, so how's that? Do you guys have any questions? Do you guys have anything that you would like to know more about the product?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not a spray, it's a, oh, what do you mean, this spray? Yes, okay, iron face. Yeah, so this is not a spray, it's a solution. Like you can squirt on a cotton ball, and then you can use it around the eye area like that.
Gabriel, I think he's talking about it's part of the extreme experiences. It's for facial. If you want to.
Yeah, extra soft facial. That shampoo is not only for the face; it's for the entire body, for sensitive skin, but it's milder for the eye area. because it's sulfate free. So a lot of vets in the world recommend Johnson baby shampoo or shampoos that are like milder for the eye area. So Pet Society developed the extra soft facial that can be used on the face of the dog that it won't burn the eye.
Okay, Gabriel. Yeah, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have. I'm trying to share something on my screen. I don't know whether you can see it.
Which one?
On my screen, I'm doing a screen sharing. Are you able to see
Okay.
it?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Okay, great. Uh, so when do you do this kind of grooming? Is this something that is allowed, or it's a no within the grooming of Shih Tzus?
Which mean kennel grooming? The face?
Okay, the body. I think the body has been shaved, apart from the tail and the head. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and what is your question?
Yeah. So my question is it allowed within the grooming community of Shih Tzus, or it's just for maybe someone's own personal thing that you want to do? Is it acceptable?
Well, but the thing is, Shih Tzus, when you talk about Shih Tzus, like dog breeding and showing of Shih Tzus, the only thing that is allowed is the hair being completely long. Anything
Okay.
else is not allowed.
Okay.
So if you're anything that you do, like if you shave the body, if you do a pet trim, if you trim the face, like I did this dog, all of those things are called freestyle. So they're all pet trims. They're modifications, right? So they're not official haircuts. They are like art, like an interpretation of whatever you want to do. But those are supposed to be done for pets. If you're showing your dog, if you're currently showing, you shouldn't cut anything.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, the only thing that you can shave is here, trim the paws, trim the sides like I showed on the table, trim the back, right? And you can like maybe trim around the tail, but that's it. You cannot shave the whole dog.
Okay.
Gabriel, as a follow-up, are you then trying to say, as with other show programs, are you saying that if the hair is not long, you can't enter the ring?
No, no. Technically, you can, but if there's a dog in the ring that has the long hair and you don't, it's out. If you cut the hair purposefully, because for example, let's suppose you're going for the ring, but the hair is broken. It's like you didn't take care very well and it doesn't have a lot of hair. The judge is not going to kick you out for not having hair, but you're probably not going to win. But if you actually cut the hair and they can see there's grooming, there's cutting, then they can kick you out of the ring.
Okay.
Because the standard doesn't allow it.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay, thank you.
How is it in Ghana? Can you guys show the dogs with
Well,
face trim?
well, in Ghana, we are now we've not really held a specialty show for Shih Tzu.
Oh, I
So
see.
we are now growing. We are learning. It's a learning curve for all of us. Although we have dog shows, we are hoping that this December we will do a show. And even with that show, it's going to be a non-point scoring show. So I'm sure we will be a little bit flexible on some of the rules because it's
Oh,
a
I
little,
see.
yeah.
Hello, Gabriel.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hello, Gabriel.
Yes.
Okay, I want to ask, in estimation, so for instance, you have a client at your end. How long will it take going through like the process or the processes you've actually gone through? How long will it take a groomer to do this in order not to keep your client waiting?
Well, in the United States, we don't allow clients to stay waiting on the place for several reasons. If the client is around, the dog tends to be more nervous, and we don't want to feel rushed, right? So here on my place, I can show you guys now that we're done. Here in my place, I have a waiting area where the dogs can exercise, and I have the crates on the back. I can show you. It's one of my dogs. I have the crates on the back, and the dogs can. Where is my camera? So the dogs can wait, and they can exercise if they're before the grooming, after the grooming. I always ask for every client that comes 3 to 4 hours of grooming. If it's a bath, I ask for 2.5 hours. But if it's for grooming, I ask 3 to 4. I don't take that long to do a dog because otherwise we'll make no money, right? But I want to have the flexibility of if one dog, the client before was matted, or the client before was a biting dog, or if something happens and we need to stop the grooming to help somebody else, we need to make sure we have time enough. For a dog like this from start to finish, I gave her a bath in about 35 to 40 minutes. That was the time that I took to wash and dry her before I got in the meeting with you guys. Was about 45 minutes. And then if I was doing by myself and I didn't have to like explain everything, I would probably take another 30 to 40 minutes to do the flat ironing, the haircut, and deliver her to her mom. So I would say a dog like this, like I did, would be about an hour and a half, 2 hours max, from start to finish. But you shouldn't rush. You shouldn't have the client waiting there. At least that's why I don't do it.
Oh, okay. So you advise clients always drop off.
Yeah, they drop off and they leave. Yeah, they don't even see on my door. They cannot even pass this door.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
like, you stay over there.
Thanks a lot.
Hello, Gabriel.
Yes.
So with the product, which one should one start with? Maybe when a dog is having a bath. Which
What
one
did you
should
say?
which one should one start with when having a bath? With the Hydra, the experienced set product, or any of them? Should it be the whitening shampoo? Should it be the moisturizing? Should it be
To have a bath?
yes, please.
So I would do, if the dog is not like incredibly dirty, I would use the odor neutralizing and the whitening. For example, if you have a black dog, I would use odor neutralizing and the moist shampoo. I always bathe twice. Even if the dog is clean already, I always try to wash them twice. That's my thing, because I'm kind of like, I feel like just one time is not enough. So I always wash them twice. So then I have the chance of using more than one product. So I can use a cleanser and a whitening, or a cleanser and a hydrating product. So I gave them 2 shampooings, and then the third bath is a conditioning. Also, there's a trick. If you have a dog that goes out on the street, you know when the dog is gray and then you wash and the gray doesn't go away? What you can do is you can use the conditioner first, put the conditioner on the hair before the shampoo, put the conditioner, massage the conditioner, then you use the shampoo and then rinse off. You're gonna see that gray of the leg is gonna go away. That's a good trick, actually. I learned that recently, and it makes a whole big difference.
Gabriel, please, I just want to follow up on the question that Carl asked. On the experience set, so you said that if you said the dog is extremely dirty, you would do other neutralizing, then whitening, then what? What do you follow with?
Then I would do the thermoactive mask, or thermoactive deep conditioning, which is this mask. I would do this every week. On the day of the show, I would use a deep conditioning that Hydra has that is called Intense Repair Silky Smooth. That mask, when you apply on the coat, you need to leave it for 10 minutes. This one, you only leave it for 90 seconds. So every week when you wash your dog, wash with this and use this conditioning. Once a month, you use the Intense Repair Silky Smooth. And the reason for it is products that have keratin. Keratin is an artificial protein that mimics what our hair is made of. But the artificial version of it, if you use it too frequently, if you keep using the keratin over and over and over, it can become a film on top of the coat, which is almost like plastic. So, and you don't want that. Any product, for your hair, any product for your hair, for pets, for anything that has keratin, is the type of shampoo that it's almost like a medicine. It's very good because it can replenish the areas that are damaged on the hair. But if you keep using like every week, it can build up on the coat. So the Intense Repair Silky Smooth is amazing, but you should use like every 3 weeks more or less. And then in between, you wash with this one. You use the Flash Thermal Active Deep Conditioning.
So another follow-up question. So on a week by week, which of the Hydra product sets will you recommend on a week if you are doing a daily or a routine bath or maintenance of the dog?
So to do for a full routine, I would have the odor neutralizing, the whitening, the moisturizing conditioner, or the Flash Thermal Deep Conditioning. If it's a show dog, in between the baths, I would use the dematting spray to like lift the coat, spray, make sure you're brushing it very well. But I completely advise you to never brush the hair dry. If the hair is dry, don't brush it because it's gonna break. Like, think about water and the dematting spray and conditioner as a lubricant. When you put the conditioner or the dematting spray or water, you reduce the friction between the brush and the hair with each other. So you can brush it better, so the hair is gonna grow longer without breaking. If you're brushing the hair dry, it's gonna break. So remember, I said the odor neutralizing, the whitening, and the dematting spray, and the Flash Thermal Deep Conditioning, and the Intense Repair Silky Smooth. The extra soft facial, also don't forget, so you can wash the face area every week without burning the eyes. It's much safer. You can have also the eye and face cleanser. So during the week, especially if you have a Shih Tzu white face, it's very easy to stain, right? During the week, it's essential that every day you wipe the hair, the eye corners, and you can use the eye and face to do that, the eye and face product. And then what I also consider essential is for you to have the thermal active spray to use after the bath, like once you're done, just spray throughout the whole dog, massage the coat. You're gonna see they're gonna be very shiny, very soft. And that's very important too, because the oils will help to add sheen to the coat, but also help prevent some matting. And every time you wash your Shih Tzu, you need to condition the hair really well. Also, if you're rinsing off the conditioner, you can leave a little bit of the product in the hair. Like when you're rinsing off, you don't need to rinse off completely. If the dog is going to stay home, if it's going to show, then rinse off better.
All right.
Hello, Gabriel. I would like to ask a question. Listening to you while you were grooming, you were talking about like that. I don't show dogs in short coats, as in puppy cats, but only in long coats. My question is, let's say you have an adult female or a male, and this dog is in a puppy cat. How do you grow the hair? Because sometimes we have issues with the hair around the eye. And here lies the case. You mentioned not to shave anywhere aside the paws and then around the sides of the hair. So I was just wondering, because I have a male Shih Tzu who is in a puppy cat right now, and I want to grow his hair very long. But then I have issues with the hair getting into his eye. And I don't want to cut off those hair because it will grow shorter. It won't get longer. So then my question is, how do you go about taking care of their hair to grow longer?
You have to be on it every day, and you need to have patience to let it grow to a point where you can tie it. So Shih Tzus in the face, when the hair is very long, right? If you have a really long mustache, you can put a rubber band on it. There are some pictures that I can send Emmanuel later about Shih Tzus with a tied rubber band, because then the hair it's tied from the corner of the eye to the root, and then the hair is falling back. Just like when you have to tie the top of the head, you already tied the sides of the face too, so the hair doesn't get on it. But you're gonna have to be patient with this part growing because it's gonna take about 8 months, or maybe 9 months, for this to grow long enough that it's not gonna be in the eye anymore.
Okay.
It's very unfortunate.
Thank you. But my next question is, I have another female who had puppies and I had to put her in short coats. So now she's growing back her hair. Before she used to have this long flowing coat dropping down to the ground. But now it ends up growing very curly and I can't get it like line straight. I saw you using the flat iron. I want to ask, is it okay to use it with a dog that has short hair? Or the dog has to grow the hair a little bit longer to use the ironing? Sorry.
So what was I using in the dog, you said, with the longer hair? The thermal? This?
Yes, you used, not with the spray. I saw you using the hair straightener. You use a hair straightener to get
the flat iron.
Your dog's hair straighter.
Oh, the flat iron.
Yeah, the flat iron, yeah.
You don't need
So
it.
then
This is when flat iron is easy to have very long hair. You don't need to use it.
Okay. So then how do I keep her hair looking straight and curly? Because it's not getting straight. It's not looking straight. It just keeps on curling. It doesn't come down. It's just all over the place.
Well, if you have length enough to use the flat iron, then you use the iron.
Okay.
But if the hair is short, then there's nothing you can do.
Oh no, it's a little longer, but I just wanted to know if I could use it.
Yeah, if it's long enough, you can use the flat iron. Just be careful with the skin. Do not go too close to the skin. But use the flat iron.
So Gabriel, I also have a question. So I think it's a problem we face here. So most of our dogs, Shih Tzus, come in normally when they are imported. They come in very long coats. But we realize that when we cut the hair and they are growing, we are not able to maintain that very long coat that they used to have when they were new. What tips do you suggest that we can keep to ensure that the dogs grow, the coats come and they are long as they were when they were in Europe? Is it a weather thing or
no? It's first, long hair also comes with genetic. There's a lot of bloodlines that the hair doesn't grow. Like there's dogs that the hair grows a certain length and then kind of starts breaking. So there is first the genetic factor for growing the hair. Second, growing hair in a dog requires a lot of discipline. Like you see, this is a lot of hair right here. And you need to be on it all the time, right? Because if the dog is matted and you use a mat cutter, then it's not gonna grow. If the hair gets matted and you have to keep dematting it, it's not gonna grow. The idea is for you to wash your dog every week, blow dry it every week, comb it every week, so you don't have to ever demat the dog. And brushing, you stimulate the skin. If you start maintaining a regular routine with the hair, more than likely it's going to grow. But there's also the genetic factor. If it's not the type of bloodline that the hair grows, then it won't grow.
Hello. My last question is about colored dogs. Perhaps let's say you have a black dog. Sometimes when you use a shampoo on this dog, let me put it this way: the color ends up changing to red. It becomes reddish at the end. What do you do about colored dogs? How do you handle colored dogs? What kind of shampoos do you use with colored dogs? And how do you go about
For black
it? Because
dogs?
I have a lot of problems with my black Shih Tzu. Yes,
You
because the
should keep
hair
them
starts to get red.
If you have a black Shih Tzu, you can just dye the hair black.
Yeah.
You
You
buy
can dye.
hair-
Okay, fine.
Yeah, wait, let me show you.
Okay.
If the whole dog is black, let me just turn this on. Anything? Okay, so if you have, this is a dog hair dye, see? This is
Okay.
black. This is the kind that, this is opals.
Okay.
You will like mix one with another, then you apply it, leave it for 30 minutes, and it gets pitch black. In Ghana, if you can't find it,
Okay.
in Brazil, like which I was doing before, just buy regular hair dye and like human hair
Okay.
dye with no ammonia, and then you
Okay.
mix, apply it on the dog, leave it for 30 minutes. Do not use around the eyes or the mouth. Don't
Okay.
let them lick, and then rinse off. And then it's black.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you
No
so
problem.
much.
This is the kind of thing that I usually don't share on seminars because I don't like recommending human products for people
Yeah.
because it's not made for dogs. So now they made it
Okay.
for dogs. But if you can't find it, and I understand the situation because in Brazil was similar, like we don't have those
Okay.
brands in Brazil. Then the breeders and they just use the human dog.
What about if it's a red dog, let's say brown, and her color is fading, becoming a little whitish?
With that, there's not much you can do because like with the best thing you can do for those dogs is to keep them always clean. And the color of the dog changing is almost like a surprise, right? You just need to let it be what it's gonna be. If it's a black and white
Okay.
dog, the black fading looks ugly. You need to then you're gonna have to dye the black.
Yeah.
But then you have
Yeah.
to with a black and white dog, it's a lot of work to dye a black and white dog because you need to separate actually the black hair, apply the color.
From the white.
Yeah, and you need to apply very like carefully because the black dye, different than the other dyes from dogs, is the kind of thing that if it touches the white, it would stain.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then my last question is, let's say I have puppies. I have a black and white Shih Tzu puppy. He's like 6 months old, and always had issues with his face. His face is always getting dirty because he always keeps it wet. How do I keep his face dried
So
all the time? Because it's
you need
always
to
wet.
have a water bowl, which is not a bowl.
Okay.
Do you know how hamsters drink water, which is like a little ball that they lick?
Yeah. Yes.
That's why you need to
Yes.
give them water with. They can't have a
Okay.
water bowl.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
if they're
Thank you.
licking, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
their beard doesn't get wet.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
No problem. No more questions?
Okay, before you started, you were saying you talk about brushing of the teeth, but you didn't take us through that method, brushing of the dog's teeth.
Oh. So, can you get me the toothpaste? Okay, so this is the Hydro toothpaste. So you just put in the toothbrush and brush it. If you have it at home, and if you can do it in your dogs, I would recommend that every 3 days, brushing your teeth. Every 3 days. Now, if it's come to the shop, you can do it every week.
But there are dogs that if you've not done it them before and you are now going to start it, you see the dog might not understand you and end up biting you. So how will you go about that?
Actually, when you have toothpaste, they usually put flavor in the toothpaste to make the dog like it. In the beginning, can you mute the microphone because it's like in the beginning, you can first start massaging the gums. Look, what you can do is you can get this, and then in the beginning, you can start massaging their gums with your finger, and then later you can get a ditcher brush and just brush everything. Like most of them um, are not very resistant. They usually don't mind, but you just need to get them used to it, and possibly the younger the better.
And please,
All
I
right,
don't know if
could you do it again? I couldn't see the when you were putting the toothpaste in the mouth.
Oh, I can do it on paper if you guys want.
Yeah.
Okay, so like that. There we go. Brush.
Yeah, thank you.
Also,
Like it, but then if you associate this moment of like giving them a treat later, they'll be fine.
oh, one quick question, please. Are you able to dye a black and white dog all white?
No,
Thank you.
cannot because you will need to bleach the dog because there's no way the how it happens is Clayton, how are you? A black and white dog. Clayton is my idol, one of my idols. He's a celebrity groomer from Brazil. Um, when you have a black and white dog, you cannot get a dog white because you will need to bleach the dog, and that would require. And even if you tried it, it wouldn't become white. It would become orange or like yellowish, and it can be dangerous. So you shouldn't do it. Okay,
Yes, thank you.
no problem. She's so angry at me. Look, she's so mad that I brushed her cheek. Look at her face.
So, Gabriel, I wanted to find out from you. So, I think somewhere last 2 months, we went for a program where the facilitator was suggesting that especially some of the shoreline shampoos, some of them contain some toxins which can hurt the hair or the skin of the dog. We want to know, are there any side effects when it comes to any toxic side effect when it comes to using any of the Hydra products or the ingredients? What's the composition?
There is no side effects at all, including here in the United States. We have customers that are clients that buy shampoo under groomers, that they're cat groomers, and the cats are allergic to a few ingredients, which I cannot tell you which ones exactly it is. And I remember them reaching out to us and asking if we carry those ingredients in our products, and we said no. And they send our products to a private lab to get tested. And we had great reviews because the products actually don't have any doesn't contain any ingredients that can be allergenic to dogs. So you're never going to have a problem with any of that. Which is also a good part of a very important part of the product is that it doesn't dry out your hands. A lot of people, if you're washing dogs all day, for example, with the odor neutralizing, the whitening shampoo, and the moist, we have a formulation where we have strong cleansing agents, but we also have moisture on the product and oils on the product, like the oatmeal and the grapeseed oil. So when you're bathing the dog, your hands are not going to get dry.
Gabriel, please, I'd like if there's a natural based shampoo or hair growth formula for us, please.
What? I could not understand.
Will you recommend a natural based shampoo or hair growth products, please?
I did not understand. I'm sorry.
I would like to know if there is any natural base
Oh,
shampoo
you
or
have
hair
any
growth.
natural products?
Totally natural, please.
No, he was
Totally natural
Gabriel.
hair.
He's asking if he's asking for a recommendation for any natural based shampoo that you recommend for dogs. That's his question.
Oh, from distancing, you mean?
The question is that he wants to find out if you have any recommendation on a natural based dog shampoo for dogs.
Um, no, I don't. I don't have any recommendations actually. A natural base, you mean?
Yes, he's asking. He's literally asking for your recommendation on a shampoo which doesn't have any toxic side effect on
Oh,
dogs.
none of the Hydra has any toxic side effects. None of it. I've been using Hydra for 7 years now only, and we never have any side effects. There's no toxins on the product at all. You're not gonna have to worry about that.
Okay, so just as a follow up, so I think in our and in our Hydra uh, training with Pet Society, Tires said one thing that especially when you are doing the dilution for the whitening, sometimes if you don't do it well, the dog color can change. So what I want to find out from you is that in the event that so they were recommending that if you are training if you are giving it to either breeders or groomers, we let them know the dilution factor well. The question is that in the unlikely event that a person doesn't do the dilution well and the color changes, what can he do to make sure that he gets it right, he gets the color back?
Um, well, first and foremost, it's for me, in my opinion, the whitening shampoo from Hydra. Hydra in Brazil has two shampoos. They have the whitening shampoo and they have the color white. The color white is a much stronger version of the whitening shampoo. I never had a problem with the whitening shampoo turning the dog purple. However, to prevent any problem with the whitening shampoo, more important than the dilution is when you apply the shampoo on the coat to massage it till it becomes a white foam. You don't want to leave the blue shampoo on the dog and not rinse it really well. If you apply the shampoo and massage it till it becomes a white foam, and then you rinse it, you're not going to have any problem. However, if it does become a problem, if you do think that the dog became blue or purple because of the shampoo, just stop using and bathe the dog regularly with the other shampoo. In a week or two, it should disappear. Does that answer?
Yes.
The type of blades? Uh, so, okay, 1 second. Okay, so when it comes to clippers, you have basically right now, what? When it comes to clippers right now, you have basically two kinds. You have a regular clipper with a a removable blade, which is this type of clipper. In this case, this one is a cordless, and this one also removes the battery. But long story short, if you have a regular clipper, which, a corded clipper, that's the type of blade that you're going to find. And you have a variety of sizes from 50 blade all the way to ½ inch, which is the tallest blade that you can find. You usually can identify the length that the hair is going to leave right here. There's like 9 millimeters. And then there are attachment combs, right? The attachment combs, you can get all the way to up to 1 inch long on the coat. However, if the coat is straight, let's suppose if you have a Yorkshire Terrier, right? The coat is very flat. It might leave the hair longer than what it says on the blade. Because the blade is not going to have the same grip on a dog that has a very straight and flat coat. Now, using this type of clipper, if you want a size that is higher than ½ inch, you can use a 30 blade on the clipper, which in this case, I recommend using a cat blade. So the cat blade has a feature with this coating that it has in the blade, it reduces hair buildup. So when you apply guard comb, which is this, on top of the blade, you're going to put it in the back and pull forward. These guard combs tend to build up hair here when you're using it. And also if the dog has mats, the guard comb is not going to go through. You need to make sure that the hair is very well brushed, very well combed before you use any guard combs. However, using the guard comb with a cat blade instead of a regular blade helps having less hair buildup. And that's one thing. And then there's the other type of blade, which is these new clippers now. This is the Andes Vita that released last month. And they have 5 sizes on the back that goes from the 9 all the way to the 40. And it changes right here, see? The blade goes down and up. And you can also find guard combs now, which this hasn't been released yet. You guys are being the first one to see. From Andes, they're releasing the guard combs now that you can apply on the blade as well. Okay, these are very light. However, these are not as heavy duty as a regular clipper. A regular clipper you can use to do mats or everything. These clippers that compares to the Bravura from Law are more for finishing, cutting the hair that is already clean, baked and dried, brushed and combed. And then you can also have, there's also those mini clippers. This is a wall that I was showing you guys earlier. This only comes in one size, which is a 40 or a 50. And then you can use to trim the face or the paws or any area that is delicate. No problem.
And please, at which age is your dog supposed to be before you groom them? Usually the puppies, some people bring their dogs, which are puppies, and they'll say insist that they would like you to groom them. Is it advisable for you to groom puppies?
Yes. When you have a puppy, first think about socializing them, right? I like when I get puppies for the first time to let them on the floor, on the salon, so they can have the experience of coming into the store and not going straight to the dog. So they can have like, oh, it's like a play date, right? Also, what I was telling you guys earlier, think about when you turn on a clipper like this, by your ear, right? If you turn this on, and then you put it right here, you're gonna notice how loud it is. It's very loud, it's very noisy. I forgot to put an earring, I almost ripped it off. It's very noisy. So, with the dog, it's gonna be even more sensitive to it. I strongly recommend for all my clients to have an electric toothbrush or a clipper at home where they turn on and then massage the dog's body all over with the clipper so the dog can get used to the vibration of the clipper and the noise. Also, one thing that is very important is for the client at home, when the dog is calm, to massage the paws so the dog is used to the paws being touched. They can touch the nails. So the dogs don't see all of those things as something new that they're seeing for the first time at the grooming salon. So at home, I strongly recommend that they would massage the dog's body with the clipper and touch the paws and handle the mouth, put their hand inside of the dog's mouth So when they come to the shop, the dog is already desensitized to all those things.
Gabriel,
Yes.
uh-huh. I want to ask, what does grooming generally entails? I'm asking this because a client will walk into your shop and then will be like, "Oh, groom my dog for me." Then the client, without even specifying, because I know grooming, comes with bathing, maybe trimming of the fur, blah 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 blah. So I want to know, what I like with your experience, what does grooming entails? And when someone walks into your shop asking you to groom his or her dog, what are the questions you should put across to the like the client, so that you know exactly what you are doing? Because
Oh,
I once had an experience
it's
where
just
a client I had an experience where a client walks into, I wasn't even around, but when I returned, I had a dog to work on, but per the form field, it was full grooming. So I also went ahead to actually trim the fur, blah blah blah, detailed grooming. But the client came back saying, "No, I just wanted you to bath my dog." So I want to know, from your end, what is full grooming?
Well, there's a couple things. First, you should have a menu of services. When people come to your salon, you should ask, do you want just a bath? Do you want nail trim? Like, for example, in my shop, if the client comes for a standard bath, you're getting the bath, the nails, ears, blends check if they liked, and sanitary and trim. That is already included on my bath, okay? But every time the client comes, especially for the first time, they're explaining what they're gonna get. They're like, okay, you came for a bath. This is what is included. Would you like to add anything? Would you like to add a deep conditioning, a hydro deep conditioning? Would you like to add a hydrosensitive spa? Would you like to add teeth brushing? All of those things are extra that I charge my client, but I need to communicate. And I feel like that's where was missing between you and your client was communication of what you were offering and what you wanted. Full grooming is very subjective. Like I have clients that come just for brush out, and I have a different price for brush out, a different price for bats and what is included, a different price for add-ons, a different price for full haircuts, and all of those things you can disclose in your website. You can be on your website available for people to see how much it costs, what is entailed, and what you're going to get from it. And so when they come to you and they're like, okay, I want full grooming, you'll be like, oh, so you want a full haircut? Which length do you want? Do you want, what are you looking for to get from this haircut? How often are you going to do it? Are you going to bring them every week? Are you going to bring them every month? Are you going to bring them every 8 weeks? Because then you guys can have a conversation and see what length is good enough that that person is going to maintain for the amount of time that they need. Is that if I trim it short, is it going to be easier for you? Are you going to be happy with the way it looks? Are you going to be happy with how much it's going to cost? Like if you want to keep the hair long, you need to bring it more often. You are the professional. You have the authority to talk to people and tell them what is good for their dog and what they need to do to get where they want to be. You were the person in between. For example, I want to have my dog with long hair, Asian fusion face, and I'm gonna tell you, okay, that is gonna require you to wash your dog weekly. That's gonna require you to brush your dog every day. Do you want to do that? That's how much it costs to wash your dog every week here, if you like. If not, that's the product that you need. You can give the hydro luxury care to wash your dog every week, and that's how you do it. It's all about you communicating. You need to talk to them, and if you don't communicate, doesn't matter what product that you use. If you use Hydra, which is one of the best products in the world, the best product in the world, then your client doesn't know, what is the really difference? You need to talk to them what they're getting from you and why you're special, why you're exclusive.
Thanks so much.
No problem.
Hi, Gabriel.
Hi, Christian.
Yeah. Please, how do you go about wine first on your dog? Sometimes you could see your wine fur, or red fur. Your white dog's growing wine furs.
Oh, stains. Okay. Well, that is a problem that comes from the inside. So usually when the stains are on the feet and around the mouth and in the eyes is because the pH of the body is too acid or too alkaline. So what you can do, you can try different food. You can try food that is, because probably it's possibly from allergies. The only thing that really solves it immediately is putting the dog under antibiotic, but you don't want to do that because that's for the liver. Um, so what the only thing you can do is use a food that has limited ingredient, where you can um, select which ingredient you're giving to the dog. I'm going to give them more chicken. Okay, chicken is not working. Let me give them fish. You can try food that's grain-free, that doesn't have pea starch. There's a lot of different ingredients that you can try removing it. There is also products like Angel Eyes, which is a complex of antioxidants, vitamins that you can give. Um, but yeah, and to prevent stains, you can just bake them more frequently. Like for example, if you're washing your dog every week and still getting stained, you can wash it every 4 days. That's what I used to do with my show dogs. When I had Malteses and Lhasa, I would wash them every 4 days.
Thank you.
It's a lot of work. But
So I think we would take last three questions because of the time is not our best ally. We'll take last three questions if there are any. Then maybe Gabriel or Clayton, if they have any closing remarks or comment they want to leave us with, then we can sign off and then close for the day.
Okay, Gabriel.
Yes.
So how do you groom matted dogs? You know, sometimes a client could walk in with a very matted and a dirty dog. How do you go about it?
Well, there's a couple ways. It can be added. It can be like, hey, it costs you more. In my shop, I charge $2 per minute. It costs much more. Sometimes if I'm spending 30 minutes brushing the mats out, they're paying $60 more just for brushing, not the price of the haircut or the grooming. You can charge more to reduce the mats. Like when the dog comes in, you should touch the dog and examine. Or if you didn't notice that the dog head was matted and you got the dog wet and you're drying them and you notice they're matted, you grab the phone, call the client and say, hey, your dog is very matted. What would you like to do about it? I can charge you this much money and demat your dog, or you can shave it. So, and they're like, well, I don't want to pay and I don't want to shave. Then I have to give you the dog at the mat. And it's like, there's
I think you didn't get my question well. What I mean is that how do you, what process? The process of dematting a matted dog, a purely matted dog.
Well, depending on the severity of it, there's no way you can demat. You have to shave it.
You have to shave it off. All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Depending on the severity, yeah, there's no way. I've saved a lot of like badly matted coats, but there is a point where it's not. You need to think about the dog's well-being, and like brushing all those mats out hurts. So it's like if the person doesn't care enough to maintain the dog, if they want the dog hairy and they want the dog fluffy, they need to take care of it. So if they don't, your job, I feel like as a groomer or caretaker, is to do what is best for the dog. And sometimes the key is shaving it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, handsome.
Hi, how are you?
Gabriel. Should I say Gabriel or Gabriel?
Whichever you prefer.
So, Gabriel, I have a question for you. I'm planning to get some, I don't know the name. It's a bathing system. Do you know what I mean? It's a bathing system, grooming bath system. You know,
like a bathtub.
Yeah, something like this. Do you have some experience or some experience with that stuff in your salon, or some groomer is using?
I have one baiting system which was from Shampoo. Most of the baiting systems don't work very well. There's a few of them that do, But what you have to do is you need to mix the entire shampoo, and this stays in a tank under the tub.
No, 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 no. It's not the circulation water. No, that I'm talking about that. We have 4 gallon shampoo, and that stuff works with water pressure.
Yeah, but the problem is a lot of times those machines, the hoses don't have the strength enough to pull the shampoo, so they break.
Mm.
Like I bought 2 of them and they broke really fast.
It's not good. You are not recommend.
Well,
Definitely.
no, I tried, it didn't work.
That stuff is very expensive, huh? Or not?
Yeah.
It's cheap.
Cluster, in fact, that works well. What you have to do is you put a lid of the shampoo on the tub, and then the water from the tub pulls and makes that water. That one works well. It's from Oster.
Yeah. I'm planning to get one, but let's see. Thank you. Oh, one more question. How was your life after and before the fame? Just kidding. Just kidding.
Stop. And they're like, oh my God, he has a Gucci bracelet. No, stop. It's not Gucci.
No paparazzi. No paparazzi.
Okay, so the fun.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think, Merlin, you have something to tell us before we sign off. If you have some closing comments.
Yeah, I just would like to thank you, Emmanuel, to organize this seminar with Gabriel. He's really a top groomer, not only in Brazil, United States, but in the world. And I hope that this information, out of this information that Gabriel gave you during this seminar, will be, how to say, very useful for you during the dog shows and also in the day by day, Gabriel. Yeah, and thank you so much, Gabriel, for your time. Yeah, and Clayton was talking about this fame because I don't know if everybody knows that Gabriel just took part of a TV show in the United States, and a million people watching this show. Was amazing, Gabriel?
4 million.
Yeah, there's a lot
Okay.
of people. Yeah, but Emmanuel, thank you so much. Yeah,
Thank you.
for organizing this, and Gabriel, it's your time.
Well, thank you, Marley, for having me. Hydra was the first company that ever believed in my talent since the very beginning. And I love the company, not only for the products. I feel like not only is the first company that believed in the groomers as artists more than anything and gave us a platform to really shine all over the world. And Clayton knows that we've been made superstars since the very beginning, and that thanks to Mali. And I feel like when we're working with a company, not only the product needs to be good, but what has behind it, the intent that has behind it, the reputation of the company, how they treat their employees, how they go about social causes. All of these things matter. And Pet Society is a company that is leader in the world when it comes to everything, not only products, but their conduct with their employees, their conduct with the social causes, and helping people like me that didn't have many opportunities to Hydro show that. So thank you guys. If you all guys are groomers, breeders, you're starting a new project, you're starting your Shih Tzu club, and you guys are gonna start doing specialties. That's a very exciting moment, and I'm glad that you guys now have Hydra to help you guys do your dogs better. Your dogs are gonna look healthier, prettier, and this is just the very beginning. You know, sometimes you just need to jump off the cliff and build the plane as you go before start this exciting project, and it's gonna work, and it's gonna be a success. And I'm very happy that I got to be the part of the beginning of it. So thank you, Marley. Thank you, Manuel, very much for.
Thank you very much, Gabriel. Just for closing remarks from us on behalf of the Shih Tzu Club of Ghana, We would like to say a big thank you to Gabriel, Marilyn, Clayton, Luciana, everybody, and even those of you who stayed. We started around 4 o'clock, and you are still here. We appreciate your time, and we've learned a lot. I also want to note, serve this notice to everybody that the Hydra product that Gabriel talked about will be in Ghana by the 14th of July. It will arrive in town by 14th of July. So all of us can have some, use it on our dogs, and also share the good experience that Gabriel has been talking about. And we also want to say that we are having our next training seminar. The Shih Tzu Club of Ghana is having our next training seminar in August 29th. And we want to invite each and every one of you who is not yet